everybody. I'm your host, Jaime Soretta. On this podcast, we celebrate everything local. And if you have not met Wendell Crow yet, I invite you to start looking into where he sells his delicious goat cheese. I want to introduce to you Wendell Crow of Crow's Dairy. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. This is fantastic.
Tell me what it is that you do, because I get to see the finished product, this beautiful goat cheese, chèvre, that you sell. We're working on the pronunciation, chèvre.
I'm not sure how it's
We're open to corrections.
For how you pronounce it. I've been making it for so many years, and I still can't get it right.
So how do you say it?
I say Chev.
Chev. Okay, we'll go.
Chev is easy. Tarbell tried to tell me how to say it for years. So I still haven't gotten it. Chevra, don't say the R-E. But,
no big deal. Yeah. Easy for us to understand.
What I do is I make some of the best cheese around, is what we do. Yeah. We started dairying here in 1919. My granddad,
oh, wow.
or no, my granddad, 1919. My wife's in 1912. Oh, wow. And so we've grown up in a dairy farm, dairy family, and we know how to produce fantastic milk. And you can't make good cheese unless you have fantastic milk. So that's a big difference in it. When you buy national cheese, you're having 300 dairies go into this vat. Some guys know how to produce good milk and some don't. Yeah. And so that's why ours is so good, because we know how to make great milk. I have fantastic employees, and the girls, my Nubian goats, are fantastic. They produce the highest fat and sweetest milk of just about any goat, so they're really good. I might get fact checked on that. Someone with the different goats may not agree on that one, but I think they're the best. But we wake up in the morning. I have 2 people who milk, morning and a night shift. We milk the goats. We make the cheese that day from it. The fastest I can get it to the store is probably 30 hours on Chev. We can get that, but we make a lot of different cheeses that take longer. We milk it. We pasteurize it. We cook it to 145 degrees for 30 minutes. Then we cool it back down to around 88, and we add a culture to it. And a culture is, I buy it out of France because it's a French cheese. It's a powdered, freeze-dried powder. And that tells me what kind of cheese I'm making. And then on the rennet, we add a rennet, and that is what makes it coagulate into a curd. You know, curds and whey, like Little Miss Muffet. And it's kind of like after 16 hours, it'll be a big gelatin curd in the tank. I take a cheese harp, which is a giant knife. I cut back and forth into little squares, and it starts releasing the whey. We bag that up, and it takes about another 16 hours, maybe 12 hours. It drains all the way out, and then we're only left with the curd. We package it, and then that's how you make Chev. We do that 7 days a week, and we make probably 6 different cheeses a week.
Wow, and all kinds of flavors. That takes a
lot longer. Oh, yeah. That takes a lot longer. Oh, and then when I say rennet, it comes from, if you're making a hard cheese, it comes from either a calf stomach, a baby calf who has never sucked on the mom, or a lamb. It's the enzyme from a stomach is what it is. And so when you add that, that's what makes it curd up.
Oh.
We do a vegetable rennet that comes from a mushroom. We have a lot of vegetarians who eat ours, so we do one from a mushroom that we make. But hard cheeses I would use, if I was making hard cheese, I would use the other rennet on that one. And so when cheese was invented, everybody says somebody was riding their camel across the desert. They were milking their camel, and they used to use stomachs for water bottles. But instead, he put milk in that stomach. And so when he got where he was going, it had turned into curds. The enzyme from that stomach, and that's how cheese was invented.
Oh, my goodness.
That's how you came up with it. Kind of a weird one is my wife, Rhonda, doesn't like the smell of cheese when we're making it.
Oh, no.
When we're making it, because it's kind of weird, sorry. But when a baby pukes, little curds come up. It's a baby. The enzyme in their stomach makes little baby curds.
Oh, my gosh.
And so she's like, oh, that smells just like when babies puke. She's a great mom, raised 4 kids. I got fantastic kids. Yes.
But it brings her back to newborn days.
She smells that. She's like, oh, so she doesn't like when we're in the middle of cheese making. She's like, nope.
But the final product is Chef Kiss.
It's fantastic. Yeah. Oh, I love it. When I take off the lid, I'm just like, oh, it smells the best ever. It does.
What
We're
different
the opposite
flavors
on that one.
what different flavors do you make, and what kind of, is it all presented as a Chev? Because don't you have a, what is it, Quark? What's that?
Well, we make a Chev, which is a French-style cream cheese. different flavors on that. We do a jalapeno, a peppercorn. We do a smoked sweet corn. We get that from McClendon's Select. We get that from him. And then we make also 2 fetas, a natural feta and a peppercorn feta.
Wow.
And quark we make, which is like a Greek yogurt, but it's a buttermilk culture.
Oh.
And so you make, instead of using a yogurt culture, it's thick like buttermilk, or thick, but it's buttermilk you can eat with a spoon.
Oh.
And the chefs just love it.
How are they utilizing it?
They drizzle it on top of a dessert or something like that. I'm a good product maker, ingredient maker, not a chef.
But you have worked with some of the best chefs in the Valley. Go ahead and brag a little bit. Give me some names. You already dropped Tarbell at the top.
Oh, man, I'll be in trouble doing that. I'll forget someone. I got Alejandro at the Phoenix Country Club, and Pacheco and Bianco and Badman. Oh, man.
Mark Tarbell.
I have my list. I need a list. Rich over at Crujente, Doug Robson at Otro.
Yes.
All the 44, Steak 44, Ocean 44, Dominic's, Lincoln. I could just.
That's a big deal. That's a big list off the top of your head.
It's about a 60 list.
Very highfalutin indeed. So you
I'll be
know
in trouble,
they're serving the good stuff over there.
Yeah.
How did they find you?
I started out doing farm markets, and I went, and my son-in-law, who's our partner, went to farm markets for probably 3 or 4 years, and I think probably Tarbell's and Bianco and Pacheco were the first 3 to start using it.
Really?
And then after that, chefs are my best salesmen ever. They move around to different restaurants. The restaurant they were at keeps the product. The new restaurant picks it up. And so I don't have to have a sales crew.
Yeah.
Chefs are the best. And it sells itself on the flavor, because they could buy products way cheaper than mine if they wanted to from a distributor. So much cheaper. And
But you're local?
It's local, but it's the flavor.
Yeah.
It's the flavor. I still eat it. I'm like, it's good.
How do you eat? How do you eat your cheese or goat cheese?
When I'm packaging and what falls on the counter, that's what I eat.
That's yours. That's how you stand. I thought maybe you whip up some eggs and do something with
I'm not
it.
a chef. I'm just telling you, like, oh, that's mine.
No. So you don't get tired of it then?
Oh, I don't. That's what's good. I try most batches. I probably do 3 or 4 batches a week. I make sure and try them.
Yeah.
Make sure we're on the right track, how we're doing it right.
Let's talk about the goats, because you know I love animals. I came and saw you during the pandemic, and it was such a tough time.
It helped out so much. Yeah.
Did it? Oh, good.
Yes.
I just wanted people to see some cute animals on TV, because it was the newsroom lit up with watching and just seeing something happy, like life on the farm, which I know you work very hard there, but you love those animals. Tell me about the animals that you get in, how you care for them, how your goal is to keep them happy, because a happy animal will produce well.
Yeah. If they're not happy, they don't produce. And so I call them the girls.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any boys over there? You must have a couple.
4.
Okay.
4 boys, and right now probably 150 girls.
Okay, because they're the producers and producing the milk.
Yeah. And so if you're one of the boys that get to stick around, you've really done well.
Oh, okay.
You've done well.
You're a stud.
You've done really well. Yeah.
Goat stud.
Yeah. We kept bucks, they're called. Let's say unofficially bucks. We kept 2 bucks last year, and so next year they'll probably have 80 to 70 girlfriends apiece.
Wow.
Those 2 guys, so they're really blessed. The rest of them probably became tacos.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Just don't need boys. They don't need boys. Girls produce. They last probably about 5 years is what they do. Is what a girl does.
Okay.
And or a doe, they're called. They're related to deer and elk.
Oh, they are?
They're not related to cattle. They're related, so they're bucks and does are what they're called.
Oh my gosh, okay.
The bucks, they will come into rut, just like deer and elk do.
What is a rut? What does it mean?
They got glands under their arms and everywhere in their head, and they stink horribly when it's breeding season.
Oh.
Deer and elk do this. Goats do this. The boys, they will urinate on their head.
Oh.
Shake it. They're dripping.
I did not know.
They're dripping head to tail, and the girls think it's fantastic. They're like, oh, look at that guy. They do. It's the goat world. And so we try to keep them separate from the girls that they stink so bad. If you don't, your cheese will even taste like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, you can smell them from like a quarter mile away.
Oh my gosh.
They're rough. And so
the boys live on the other far
I got
end
four
of the
boys.
farm.
They do. We keep them separate.
Yeah.
We try to. And then the girls, they love us. They're so tough because they get to be like 8 years old, and they just think they're your best friend. And probably a third of our herd is like that. About a third of them, 2/3, we let the moms, the does raise their kids, and those girls aren't friendly because they're raised by the mom.
Yeah.
They're not around people. A lot of them, when they have their first kid, if we'll help them when they have their babies, they'll swap, they'll switch. You're like, okay, you're good on that one.
Okay.
And then, but some of them just stay crazy forever. But the ones that you end up feeding bottles to, oh, they're a pain. They are all the time wanting attention.
Oh, high maintenance.
What's that?
High maintenance.
High maintenance. They are.
Yeah, lots of hugs and kisses.
They are. And I love them way more because I milked cows for years and years. And I think I had 2 pets over like 40 years of milking cows.
Wow.
I had 2 pets. And on these, 30% think they're my best friend.
Yeah.
Which is, it's nice. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife talked me into the goats. I had tried goat cheese twice and milk once when we sold our cow dairy. And we were going to do a small cow dairy, maybe 30 cows is what we were going to do, and do an artisan cheese. And we sold the cows. We took 2 years off. It's around 05, 06. And during that time, we did cheese vacations on the East and West Coast is what we did.
Nice.
Fun.
Where'd you go?
Everywhere. Any cheese plant I could get to, I call them. It was before the internet, kind of.
Yeah.
So they were more.
phone book?
They were more open to it.
Oh, really? Yeah.
They wasn't like everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
I had to look them up in the yellow pages, you know. And so tons of cheese dairies and dairies, and we came across a couple who did a fantastic job and knew how to make a really good goat product. And I'm like, well, I can sell that because you got to have like something to sell it, definitely. And we ended up switching over to the goats.
Oh, wow. So that happened years after you were in the cow.
I sold the cows. Yeah. We took 2 years off, and during that time, my sister moved to North Carolina with Revlon.
Oh, really? Cool.
My wife's gynecologist. Her husband broke his back. He was a doctor. Just scooted back during a surgery. He fell over and broke his back. So they moved there. We go to North Carolina, and she goes, "Oh, my gynecologist is here. I'm going to go see her." And so she goes, and I'm in their waiting room waiting for her because we were back visiting my sister. Yeah. And there's a book there on working vacations. And one was a goat dairy with cheese vacation. And I was like, this is where we'll go. And, that's from that one. So sad to say, if he hadn't broke his back, I would have never
ended up with the goats.
I can trace it back to that one.
That is wild. I was wondering where the story was going to go. Led you to your destination.
It is so weird. It's like, I was in North Carolina, and it was Dave and Catherine who had not Fossil Creek. I can't remember their name. They're going to kill me now. But they had a goat dairy here in Arizona.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Black Mesa.
Oh, wow. Black Mesa.
Black Mesa is what it was.
How is that man with the broken back? Is he doing okay?
Yes,
I hope so.
I hope so.
Now that you brought him up, I'm worried about him now. Let's talk about Rhonda because you're wife of how long, and you guys met when?
In high school. Went to the junior senior prom together. Yes, we went to Tolleson High School. Graduated in 1978. Have 4 kids. They all do fantastic. None of them wanted to farm, but they all do fantastic because we made them work and they learned how to work.
Work ethic on a farm.
Oh my gosh, yes, it does so well. You know,
and it doesn't stop.
Yeah, my oldest son is a border patrol agent, and then the rest are entrepreneurs, and they all do really well. Who's
the EDM DJ?
David, my youngest kid, the crazy one.
Oh, that's wild. I like it. The
crazy one. Calls himself Ghastly.
Okay, we can look that up on Instagram. We looked that up on Instagram.
Yeah, whatever. He's everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He just got back from a Asian tour.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. He says he likes Bali the best. It's one of his favorite countries, and Japan.
And performing for huge crowds, too.
Oh, yeah. He's flown us in. I never knew what a rave was.
Have you gone to one, Wendell?
No, I've been to many raves now.
Wendell the Raver.
Yeah.
I never saw that one coming.
No, I know.
You are full of surprises, sir.
And then my daughters do the salons. They got a couple of salons. They do fantastic at that. And then my son-in-law is a partner on our dairy.
Oh, wonderful.
Eric Hernandez. And he has another business, H&B Builders, where they build apartment complexes. But he still does the books for the farm.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I mean, it's like right on. He's a fantastic dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get together every Sunday.
Yeah.
All
Family
of us,
dinner.
Everyone except for Aaron, our Border Patrol agent, because he got moved to Washington State.
Oh, cool.
Is where he is. So he's kind of been Mecca for Border Patrol agents. They catch like 18 a day instead of 1,800 a day.
Oh.
So he's retiring at the end of his career. So
might be back in the farm soon.
I told him he's in
Come see
Mayberry
you.
up there. Yeah.
Oh, wow. As long as he's happy, right?
Oh, yeah. We miss him. We miss him
You
being that far.
FaceTime him from the family dinner.
Yeah. They
For
fly
sure.
down a lot.
Oh, good.
They do. They come down a lot. And they've all done well. Everybody's still married so far. Everyone's still married. They throw that in there. And then David is engaged. The youngest one's engaged to get married, so that'll be fun.
Very cool.
Got one more wedding to go.
A wedding on the farm?
I doubt it. The farm's pretty rough.
No.
It depends if you want flies on your cake.
Let's talk about the goat milk and the goat cheese, because I have a girlfriend. She is super, super healthy. She is very interested in the raw milk and what's happening with this raw milk movement. Can you tell me what's going on with that and why people are wanting to drink
We
it?
produced raw milk for a while. That's what I drink all the time.
You do?
The only thing I drink is raw milk. The best place if you want to find it in Arizona is look like on Craigslist. Search raw milk. Yes.
Really?
Or groups on Facebook. Look up goats and stuff like that, Arizona goats, things like that. And you can find a lot of small dairies out there. They're not legal, but they're producing raw milk. And they're fantastic milk. And Arizona is really a cool place as far as they don't go around like California with guns drawn, shutting people down. It's more of a, if there's a complaint, they'll go take care of it. But if there's not a complaint, it's like everybody is selling burritos on the side of the road. Unless there's a complaint, the county's not going to go get them. So,
I always stop for a roadside burrito. I mean,
and I used to sell raw milk. It's a fantastic product. It's really hard to produce legally because it has to be at pasteurized standards.
okay.
And so I would wash my equipment twice before we did it. I Rhonda would milk. I'd make sure my wife milked that shift. We just pristine on that one, just to try to pass the standards that it takes.
Right.
But it's alive. It's so alive and it's good for you. Where like my cheese and stuff is pasteurized. I do the least of the pasteurizations. There's one that's 202 degrees, and they put it in aseptic packaging. That would be your milk you get at like Jack in a Box or somewhere. And it tastes really sweet. It doesn't taste bad because when I get it that hot, it caramelizes the milk and it's kind of sweet. But there's nothing in there. You can keep that box on the shelf for 6 months, no refrigeration, and it's just as good later because it's aseptic packaging.
Okay.
And nothing's alive. Nothing's alive. Most of your milk you get at the store is 160 degrees, which kills a lot then. And then what we do is 145, which is the minimum you can do for legal pasteurization, vat pasteurization. That's for 30 minutes. You just simmer it. The 160 is for 10 seconds. The 202 is for 1 second, how fast they go. And so I even drink, my wife thinks I'm crazy, I drink raw milk colostrum. So the first kids who get it, the first babies who get it, we feed the kid, and then I steal the rest for me. So
Wendell, I mean, you're kind of talking my language because I went through a bunch of GI stuff after I had my wisdom teeth pulled.
Yeah.
And I had amoxicillin, and I went through a dramatic issues with my GI system. And they put me on different medicines. It was terrible. I wasn't sleeping because I'd be up through the night with this stuff. I found colostrum. And it changed everything. I'm like back to normal. I have a healthy gut again. So I tell everyone to try colostrum.
I got a freezer full of it.
What, you do? So you're not selling that,
I got
are
a
you?
freezer, no. Well, it's one thing I could sell. I never have tried it. They consider it a waste milk.
Really?
Yeah, there's so many standards of different things, but that's considered a waste milk. Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
But the
There's not
colostrum,
really
for people who don't know, what is it?
They don't think people would drink it.
Yeah.
But the first milk, well, it lasts for 2 days is what it lasts. But I just get the first one is what I do for me.
Yeah.
But it's the first milk that the mom produces. Some of it comes out like Jello almost. It's just like caramel.
How do you drink
it's
that?
so thick.
I'm glad I get mine packaged.
No, I'm just saying it comes out like caramel. It's so thick.
Gosh.
Oh yeah, and it's life. It's all the immunities. Okay, so a kid in the first 10 minutes, half hour, they absorb 90% of the immunities from that milk.
Oh, wow.
Boom. So sooner a baby or anybody, you get breast milk in them, the better. They're absorbing more of the immunities like crazy. At 24 hours, they only get 10% of the immunities from it.
Oh my gosh.
And so it drops that fast. And this is all these are studies with cows and goats.
Yeah.
So it has to apply to people too. But
Yeah.
But so the sooner you can get milk in a kid, the better. So much better. And then, but by 24 hours, you only get 10%.
That is crazy, isn't it?
And then there's colostrum meters. You can test your colostrum and make sure it's good. You can buy it online, get a colostrum meter.
So have you noticed a change in your health since taking the colostrum?
Oh, I like it, yeah.
What do you think it does for you?
I just drink so much, I can't tell you different. I drink raw milk. I'm terrible. I got this big belly. I probably drink, last night I drank 3/4 of a gallon of raw milk.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So I weigh 300 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
I came in, I was so hot, my truck broke down.
Today?
Yesterday, the refrigeration, and I delivered all day in 112 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
And I got home, I was so thirsty, and it wasn't water, I wanted milk. I'm just crazy milk.
You're in the right business. I mean, you're the guy we want doing all this stuff. You love your product, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about your day, though, because you must start early. And then you mentioned you had a full delivery day yesterday. When are you on the farm? When are you milking? When are you making the cheese?
I don't get to stay on the farm as much as I like. A lot of delivering, a lot of sales, which I really enjoy, too.
Yeah. You like the people? Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. It's fun. I love to stand in the chef's kitchens.
Yeah.
So much fun. And I can't afford to eat in the front, but they feed me in the back of the house.
That's okay. That's the super fresh stuff.
Yeah, where was I? I was at Dominic's the other day, and they're like, "Oh, you want some calamari?" And they sent me this huge bag of calamari. I was like, "Oh yeah, fantastic."
Yes, please. I'm not going to say no.
So I get that.
Yeah.
I can't go by Bianco's or Pane Bianco, and they load me up with bread. Marco's the best.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know if you ever met Marco.
Yes.
He's so fantastic.
Yes.
I love him. And so I deliver all the time. I'm always delivering and doing sales and all that part. I'm the cheese maker, and then my wife does the goat end, and my son-in-law does the books. That's how we split it up.
Okay.
So I start out. I get up early. I go out. I check what's happening with the girls, see how they're doing. Line up everybody on the milking for that day, what cheese we're making. I'm the cheese maker on Thursday and Friday, and I got to get home and make cheese after this. I'm behind.
Sorry.
I'm running behind.
Sorry.
Oh no,
Thank
this
you
is fantastic. But I forgot to check this morning. I called Brittany, who was working yesterday. I say, "Is there anything in the tank?" I didn't even look 'cause I was thinking about this. I was excited about this. And so after that, doctoring, hoof trimming, anything like that. Anybody needs.
Oh my gosh. A little tune-up.
Tend to do, pedicures. That's a big one.
Oh my gosh.
And then, but a lot of sales and stuff, a lot of traveling I do. And we have both been in the dairy business forever, and we love what we do.
That's awesome.
It's tough. We're getting old. We're like, sometimes those bales of hay are getting heavier.
Yeah.
Until
Imagine.
Yeah. I'll feed like 20 bales of hay a day. But man, instead of picking them up and throwing them on the trailer, I roll them now.
No. I like it. Make sure it's a round barrel of hay.
No, they're
They're the squares.
When you handle enough, you learn how to roll them.
Yeah. What about for the folks who are thinking about getting a goat for for some of the health reasons that we mentioned, but they want to have some goats back in the backyard and just for their own use?
Fantastic. I would get probably a Nigerian.
But you have Nubian. Why would you get a
Nubians? But Nigerians are smaller, and I would say they have the best milk comparable to a Nubian.
Okay.
Really good, and they'll do a gallon a day, or not a gallon a day, a half gallon a day.
Oh, wow.
A Nubian does about a gallon a day,
Uh-huh.
and they do about half a gallon a day, which is perfect for a family.
Yeah.
They're small, they eat less. Half a gallon a day is really good. So Nigerian dwarf would be the one I would go with on those. The Nubians, you get about a gallon a day,
Uh-huh.
but they're like milking a Jersey, which is really high fat, high protein to make cheese out of. And Holstein cows produce way more milk than Jerseys, but their fat's like 3.5% instead of 4.5%.
Okay.
So they're more for what you're going to drink on those. And the same thing on goats. There's different breeds of goats. There's Saanens who produce 2 gallons a day. Mine only do a gallon a day, but they're really high fat and high protein.
High
That's
protein.
that's why it's so sweet.
Yeah.
That's why it's so sweet and why it makes such good cheese. If I was selling milk only, I would have Saanens